Hi, Leo. How are you? I am super excited to do the Leo reading because, as you know, I'm a Leo myself. So I'm excited to do this reading for you. This is going to be the astrological reading for 2019, March 2019. And I'm going to just be using my fancy dancy uh, angel cards here, which I'm going to pull four cards at the end of the forecast for you. And the four cards are just going to explain what you can expect for each week in March. So each card is going to represent one week in March, and it's going to explain to you what you can expect in the month of March. And then I'm going to pull a fifth card, which is going to be the overall energy for that month. So the first thing I want to mention is that if you haven't watched my video on Mercury retrograde is happening in March. So it's not a good time to really start anything. It's not a good time to really buy anything, any electronics or a new car or anything like that. So if you can hold off, Leo, on making any major purchases or anything, electronics or any gifts or anything like that, hold off on that. And, you can always do that like in April, which is a better time, anyways, for you. So, the first thing I want to mention is I want to mention for Leo, I want to mention love because I think a lot of Leos, not all of you, but some of you are single and you're interested in potentially dating or finding somebody to date, somebody that's like worth dating because Leo, I find Leos like we have high standards and we want the best because I find with Leos like we're ruled by the heart, right? Leo's ruled by the heart. So whenever we give our love to somebody, we express our love to somebody, it's very intense. Like we love deeply with our hearts. And it hurts a lot. Like if a Leo gives their love and they get hurt and it's not funny, but if you like give your love and then somebody hurts you and like you got to pick up the pieces and you know date somebody all over again, it can be a lot. But the whole reason why I'm mentioning this is because on March 1st, you have Venus entering Aquarius. What does that mean? Well, Aquarius is the opposite sign of Leo, which is the seventh house of Leo. So that's the house of love. It means that you have a chance to meet somebody around March. Now, Mercury retrograde's happening, so you might think, well, if Mercury retrograde's happening, how am I supposed to meet new people? You can meet new people. There's nothing wrong with meeting new people. The only thing is don't start a new relationship. Don't jump into a relationship with somebody in March. It's good to look and put yourself out there and be available. If you are single, if you're already with somebody, then that's completely different. But for Leos that are single, you can go out and dress up and make yourself look good and just go out there and make yourself seen, or just like be available and make yourself available, because when you do that, then you are making yourself available to love, which is Venus in the seventh house. And this is for those of you who are Leo rising. If you're a Leo sun or a Leo moon, this might not apply to you, but it will still to some extent apply to you. So on March 1st, we have Venus entering Aquarius, which is the opposite sign of Leo, which is the seventh house. Okay. So just keep that in mind. That this is the month where you should be looking, you should be going out, you should be making yourself notice, you should be making yourself available, because that is going to create the energy that you need to attract what you want. Okay, that's what astrology is all about. Astrology is about being able to attract what you want through knowing the energies above and around you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, some of you might say, I don't care about being in a relationship. if you don't care about being in a relationship, that's fine. A good thing to work on when Venus is in your seventh house is just, work on, giving people love and just being loving and friendly, and, focus on the love that you want to express, because love is going to be more of a focus for us Leos in March, because Venus is in Aquarius. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to discuss just some of the things that we're going to be experiencing in March. Now, in March, we have a lot of developments going on. The first major development for Leo is Uranus is leaving Aries, okay, for a long time, for like 84 years. So when that happens, it means that, Leos are going to be now challenged in a different way. You're going to be challenged in a different way now, because what's going to happen is that when Uranus leaves Aries, it's going to move into a different sign that is Taurus. Okay. And that's happening on the 6th. So, March is a month, not only for Leos, but for everybody. It's a month of change, and it's a month of change that everybody needs, because we've been stuck in this kind of like, energy that's kind of been, everybody's like, well, when is this going to change and when is this going to get better? Well, I'm telling you, I'm here to report to you, Leo, that things are going to get better, especially in your love life, if you're looking at enhancing your love life as well. So some of you, just to recap last month, some of you had a full moon, and we had a full moon in Virgo, which is the second house. So some of you came into some money, or money is getting better for you, because money was a bit of an issue, but money is getting better for Leos, and it's going to continue to get better for Leos, because as the planets move forward, especially with Uranus moving into Taurus, that is something that's connected to your money house, because Virgo and Taurus are both earth signs. So whenever something is in an earth sign, it's going to affect your money house. So you can expect that this year it's going to get a lot better for you in terms of money, and in terms of how things are going to run in your money life. If you've been, kind of just like suffering from money situations that haven't really been working out for you. Okay. Now, the next thing is around March 6th, we have like tons and tons of aspects that are going to be happening. I'm just going to pull up my chart here. I have a chart here that I'm going to pull up. Okay, so one of the things that I want to focus on for Leo in particular. Okay, so I'm not going to talk much about Mercury retrograde, because I already discussed it in the Mercury retrograde video. So if you haven't watched that, I'm going to add a link below. You can click the link and check the Mercury retrograde video out, because I think everybody should know about Mercury retrograde. It doesn't matter what sign you are. You should know what it's about. Now, I'm a Leo, so I should know how all this is affecting Leos. But I'm just thinking about it. So Pisces, we're going to be having a new moon in Pisces. Okay. So the new moon in Pisces is happening on the new moon is happening on, right, the 6th. So the new moon is happening on the 6th, and Mercury goes retrograde on the 5th. Okay. So if you are a Leo, okay, if you are a Leo, your opposite planet is the 7th house, which is Aquarius. Venus is going to be entering Aquarius. And then you have the 8th house. And Pisces rules your 8th house. Okay? So some of you, some of you are going to be really focused on the 8th house matters, okay, which is, taxes. It's going to be tax season soon, so a lot of you want to get your taxes prepared. Some of you are actually filing your taxes in March, but I don't recommend filing taxes in March, just because March is not the time to be filing or doing anything really because of the Mercury retrograde. Okay. Uh, yeah. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. So, another thing with Pisces too, with the new moon is that, uh, some of you might be in some joint finances. Okay. Some of you might be with joint finances. Some of you are already in relationships and you guys are sharing finances, or you're sharing, the mortgage or whatever that case may be. Just make sure you're very clear about that, clear about your intentions, and if it involves money or anything like that with someone else, just make sure you're clear about that. I sense that for some of you, not all. I would say maybe like 10 to 20% of you. But I think most of the Leos that are watching this are single, and they're looking to potentially maybe get into a relationship with someone or just date. And this month is really good for that, just to get it started. So if that's something that you want to do, get it started. Don't jump into anything crazy. I think, for Leos, anytime between April and August is probably a better time to kind of just focus more on like getting into a relationship with someone. But I don't think right now is the time. Some of you are healing still from past relationships. So I really think that, you should just focus on building yourself up, Leo. That's what it's about for a lot of Leos right now, is like building yourself up, making sure that, you're taking care of yourself, because Leos can give a lot. And, sometimes we give too much. So just keep that in mind. The other thing I want to mention is that we have so the 6th, Uranus enters Taurus, okay? Uranus enters Taurus, and that's going to be happening in, I believe, in Leo's 9th house. Let me just count. Virgo, Libra, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. Oh, sorry. It's in your 10th house. Right. So this is happening in your 10th house. So a lot of Leos, a lot of rising Leos are going to be having a lot of changes in their career and their status in the world. Some of you are being pushed to do different things in your career. And that's a really beautiful thing, because you know what? Now is the time to do what you always wanted to do in your career and push forward. So you're gonna feel that energy. A lot of surprises, a lot of opportunities are gonna come to Leo in the next 5 to 6 years, because you have Uranus in that 10th house. So my advice to Leos is to position yourself. You need to position yourself now. During March is a perfect time, because March everything is going to be kind of muddled and Mercury is going to be retrograde. So March is a good month to plan. It's a good month to sit down and plan. Not a good month to take action, just a good month to kind of write your ideas down, write things down, and slowly start implementing them. Don't try to overwhelm yourself in March, because things are going to be slowed down. For me as a Leo in March, I'm going to be cleaning my computer out, making sure my house is clean, making sure that I'm organized. These are things that are like super important, because if you can't take the time to really reorganize yourself and get yourself on the right path, it's going to be a lot difficult for you to keep up when the energy is moving forward. So when the planet Mercury is moving forward, it's more demanding of you. It's asking more of you. Whereas when Mercury is retrograde, it's signaling a time to really just focus on reorganizing, redoing, and all of that. And you can find that information in the Mercury retrograde video. Okay. So beautiful, beautiful thing for Leo is in the 11th house. Sorry, the 9th house, not the 11th house, because Aries. Some of you may be traveling at the end of the month. Okay. Some of you may be traveling because you have the sun entering Aries, which is in your 9th house. So some of you have been thinking about traveling, or you maybe you want to travel, and some of you might even be thinking about higher education, maybe going back to school, or picking up a new course, or studying something, maybe a foreign language. Because the 9th house is going to be highlighted all from March 20th all the way throughout April, and that's going to be Aries season, right? So if you're planning on traveling or planning on doing that, April is probably a better time to do that. Not so much in March. I don't recommend traveling at all in the month of March, just because of the Mercury retrograde. I've seen a lot of crazy things happen during Mercury retrograde, and I just try to avoid traveling, period, during that time. But Aries it's a beautiful time. March 20th, you have Aries, Sun entering there. And then you have March 20th, you have a full moon in Libra. Okay, full moon in Libra. So you have a full moon in your third house as a Leo. Okay, third house. So, some of you might be writing a book. Some of you might be communicating more. Some of you may be dealing, something's coming to a head with siblings. Some of you have brothers and sisters. So Libra is all about balance. So you want to make sure at the end of the month, the third week, you're balancing your energies out. A lot of people are going to be forced to balance their energies out and not overwork themselves or overdo themselves. And that's what Libra full moon is all about. Okay, so your third house, it talks about these things. And another thing, Leo, I just want to say, like, some of you are driving. Make sure you check your cars. Make sure that your cars are being well maintained, because the full moon can also signal that with the third house highlighted there as well too. Okay. So the 26th, Venus enters Pisces. Okay, so that's going to be in your 8th house. And again, we're talking about Pisces. Pisces is a very elusive sign. It's very spiritual as well too. So some of you maybe like really, are getting into spirituality and really like just focusing more of your energy on inwards, on spirituality as well too, with this Mercury retrograde going on. Okay. Meditation is good as well too during that time. But in terms of Venus, I think the most prominent Venus aspect for you guys is at the beginning of March. So just take advantage of that, because once Venus leaves Aquarius, it's kind of like you're going to be too busy. You're not going to really have the time, with tax season coming around and other mundane things that you have to do. Maybe you have to deal with joint finances with somebody. You're not going to have as much time as you have now to kind of make yourself available. Okay. So all right, so what else here? Okay. And then finally, at the end of the month, we have Mars going into Gemini, which is perfect for Leos. And the reason why it's perfect for Leos is because that's going to be a time when you can really connect with other people and create something, like with organization. Some of you are interested in expanding yourself. Some of you are in business. Some of you want to expand your friends, your circle of friends. And the best time to do that is at the end of the month, because Mars is going to be entering your 11th house in Gemini. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be meeting new people, being connected to new organizations. People are going to start to get to know you more. You're going to be out there, and as the energies change. Okay, so hold off on anything that you want to do for March. Hold off if you have any like major things that you want to do, and focus your energy more on cultivating your ideas, cultivating what you want to do, what you want to manifest in April, so that you're not expending your energy that much. Because I think at the end of the month for Leos, now as you get yourself out there and you start meeting new people and people are starting to get to know who you are, there's going to be a demand. I feel that for many people, not just Leo, there's going to be a demand for people to want to hang out more and create more things as the seasons change and the weather's changing now. For those of you that live in the Northern Hemisphere, a lot of you are getting over the winter now. So a lot of these changes are happening, right? So yeah, so that's what I have for you, Leo. I'm going to pull out your cards. I'm excited because I want to see what my week's going to be like in March. So give us some cards, Spirit, some cards on how Leo's month is going to be in March. 4 cards for each week. 1 card for each week. 4 cards in total. Okay. What messages do we have for Leo? Let's see. What messages do we have? Oh, and by the way, I just want to mention most of these readings are very individual readings. They're more, I don't really focus on love or career or anything. I'm focused more on the individual. I'm focused more on your personal development for people, because I think a lot of the times people are really focused on money and they're focused on love, but I want to bring a different type of, for me, I want to bring a different kind of reading. I want to bring something that's more focused on like, the individual. So, and I think that's different. I'm bringing something that's different. Okay, so the first card that I got was 3 of Water. It says a celebration. Ooh, I like that. A wedding, graduation, a birth announcement, the need to have more fun. So some of you might be getting married or talking about marriage in the first week of March. Oh my God. And it's funny because you have Venus entering your 7th house. So Spirit is telling me that some of you are just, I'm getting goosebumps from this. Some of you might be getting married or maybe even celebrating a potential marriage or a graduation or a birth announcement. Some of you might be pregnant. Okay, the need to have more fun. So there's 3 of cups here, 3 water cups here. Okay, and it's got the little dolphin there. So I think, another thing I'm getting from this is like, make sure you're hydrated too, Leo, like, because here's the thing, like, the sun is entering Pisces. The sun entered Pisces. When did the sun enter Pisces? Okay, so February 18th was when the sun entered Pisces. So wherever the sun is, Leo, you're ruled by the sun. So, make sure you're getting a lot of water. Make sure you're drinking and you're hydrating. This is also signaling hydration because of all the water. 3 of water. So, you need water, right? Okay. All right. Next card. 10 of Air. The end of a difficult situation. So the second week's going to be an end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction. So some of you may be overcoming an addiction that you had, or maybe some of you had a difficult situation and you're overcoming the difficult situation. But it says to embrace change, okay? And I see unicorns here in a forest. Okay. So this to me is talking and signaling the change that's happening with Uranus moving in from, there's a change. Okay. The second week, the first week, there's going to be a lot of maybe celebrations and stuff, but then there's changes that are going to happen. And it's an end to a difficult situation, which makes sense because if you're celebrating something, okay, with this card, the first week, then it's an end to a difficult situation that maybe you were waiting for some celebration, you were waiting for something to change, or you were waiting for something to get better. And now it's getting better and you're going to recover, okay, from addiction. Maybe some of you had an addiction, and it doesn't have to be an addiction to like, drugs, or like, it could be just an addiction to like being depressed or being, in bed all day, or just feeling like, oh, my life isn't going anywhere, right? So I feel like that's going to get a lot better for Leos the second week. Okay. And the third week, we have Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement. That makes sense, right? Because remember, Uranus is going into your 10th house. And you're going to start feeling the effects the third week because, it's moving from Aries into Taurus on the March the 6th. So, sometimes you don't feel the effects right away, but give it some time. And that's why you have this man that's just standing there with his hands crossed. And he's like, I made it, like I did it. And And what's really interesting is this is the third week and you have the full moon here, right? This looks like a moon in the background. Okay. So a lot of the signs have been pulling cards for the third week with this like moon in the background. It looks like a moon. It might not be a moon, but to me it looks like a moon. And if this isn't the moon, okay, then this is the moon. But one of these look like the moon, okay? And it says here at the bottom, it says an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. So this is good. This card, this third week of March is going to change your life for the better, Leo. Like it's so time for Leos to have a better life and to feel better about themselves. And you know what? Here, I sense a victory for you guys. I sense this person standing here, they have victory. They're in their own, they're coming in their own. They don't really need to have any approval from anybody. They're moving forward. So this is a very beautiful card. Ace of Fire. And it's an ace card, which is really powerful. Okay, the final week for Leo, which card did we get? Nine of Air. Okay. It says expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Okay, so some of you, this card to me, it sounds a little harsh, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a second card just to clarify this card because I'm not sure what that means. Maybe there is something, you know, that's going to happen at the end of the month that we're not sure about. But let me ask and see what is this Nine of Air sign here? Why are we seeing this card? What does this card mean? Because I want to know what's going on in advance. If I can know. What is this Nine of Air card? Okay. Okay, so this is what I think this is what this means, okay? So it says Knight of Water, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative. And it says falling in love or wedding proposal, the need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. Okay, so when I get these two cards connected, right away I'm thinking, Venus is in the 7th house. The first card talked about marriage and maybe getting, you know, wedding and this and that. I'm getting the vibe. I'm getting a strong vibe that a lot of you guys might be proposed, or maybe somebody wants to get into a relationship with you, or maybe somebody's interested in you and, you know, you jump into something. I think, Leo, if this happens, take your time, because I think the reason why the Nine of Air is coming up and it says expect the worst is because if you jump in too quickly into something like a relationship or, you know, you don't want to get yourself hurt. So really take the time. And I think this is what it means. Emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative. You know, and then it says falling in love or a wedding proposal. And this is coming up again. Like you had this in the first week. So this is coming up again. So just take your time in the month of March. Like I said, I don't recommend getting into a relationship or starting anything new. Just kind of like date and see what's out there. Take your time. And, you know, most of all, love yourself, okay? So I'm going to pull another card just for the overall energies, because I want to know what are the overall energies for Leo for the month of March. The overall energies for the month of March. What are the overall energies? The overall energy. Okay. So the Empress. And the Empress has a little baby, you know, so the Empress doesn't necessarily mean like you're pregnant. Some of you might be pregnant, some of you might not be. But for those of you who aren't, some of you have an idea in your mind that you want to put out into the world and you're like conceiving this idea. That's what I get with the Empress card, okay? And it says lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams. Nurture yourself and others, okay? So like I said, you know, you will be giving love to other people because you will have Venus in your 7th house, but also love yourself. Don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to nurture your ideas that you have and implement your ideas and put them forward, you know, if you have those ideas that you want to do. All right, Leo, so that's what I have for you. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked my reading, please subscribe below. Comment, like, share. It helps me to share more information with you and connect more with you. So, again, thank you for tuning in. And I wish you guys all the best. You know, a Leo to a Leo. I love you guys so much. Okay, thanks for tuning in. See you guys later. Bye.